The Fantastic Beasts franchise has been through quite a lot already. First installment was a nice revisit to the Wizarding World, bringing us to a new place and learning a bit more about the Wizarding World as a whole, but mostly felt like it was just setting up for future movies. Then we got Crimes of Grindelwald, which was boring and a bit confusing, but hey, at least Johnny Depp was good at playing Grindelwald. What's that? Oh, Johnny Depp is gone now? Well, that really bums me out. He was the best part of the second film. Mads Mikkelson, you say? Okay, I'll give it a shot. This trailer seems pretty good. The movie must be better than— Oh my goodness! Now we have this third movie, which I'm gonna give light spoilers for, so if you're dying to see the movie, then I guess don't watch this, but there's not a whole lot to actually spoil. So we have the third installment, which has had 4 years to try and correct the wrongs of Crimes of Grindelwald. They must have learned something from their past mistakes and reworked the story a bit. This one has got to be better. Well, it's not. Maybe marginally better than Crimes of Grindelwald, but also maybe not. If you're looking for me to answer the question in the title of the video, do we need Fantastic Beasts 4? Then I'll answer that for you right now. And I'm gonna say no. It doesn't make me feel good to say that. Harry Potter is my favorite franchise of all time. I have 2 Harry Potter tattoos, but I'm gonna call it as I see it, and this movie is just all over the place. Characters do things that make absolutely no sense. I don't really understand anyone's motivation for any of their actions. The plot calls for somebody to be somewhere, so that's where they go. One of the only bright spots of this movie is Jacob Kowalski. He's one of the only bright spots in the entire series right now, and they need him to come on this adventure with them because he's a good person. How does he help this mission, or missions, I still don't really know, that these characters are going on? In the first movie, Jacob accidentally got wrapped up in everything by witnessing Newt casting spells and switching cases with him. Okay, that's fine. In the second movie, he somehow got his memories restored because he loves Queenie or something like that. That's a stretch, but I'll let it slide. In this one, he needs to be with them by request of Dumbledore himself because the only reason I can think of is so that way he can get Queenie back from Grindelwald's side. If that's the case, then they should have made that explicitly stated in the film. The only other bright spot in this film is Mads Mikkelson as Grindelwald. And I said that about Johnny Depp in the last film, so if you're keeping score, we have 3 films. One of them is okay, and the other 2 are pretty bad, with the best parts being a single character who has now been played by 2 or 3 different actors. I've mentioned this before, but the Fantastic Beasts moniker feels very old. I get that the beasts can refer to many different things, but this series is still holding on to Newt's character so hard by trying to force new Fantastic Beasts into each new film. I get that series are easily marketable, but at this point, the whole Fantastic Beasts series should have just been 5 separate films with different stories but connected characters. Newt was the protagonist of the first film, but the protagonist of the second film could have been Dumbledore, Grindelwald, even Jacob. Newt is an interesting character, but he cannot carry a series as a main character, and this movie only further proves that point. There's supposed to be 2 more movies in the series? Oh my god, 2 more movies. And I really have no idea where they're even going to take this next. The only major plot point left to cover is the actual fight between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. WB is reportedly seeing how this movie performs in order to greenlight a sequel, and honestly at this point I'm not sure if they actually will or not. At the end of the movie, Newt says that he'll help Dumbledore again if he calls on him, obviously setting up a 4th movie, but other than that, and Grindelwald escaping yet again, there's no more story threads to resolve, and if there is, I don't really care to see them resolved. I guess there's Newt and Tina, or Newt and Bunty, but the actress who plays Tina is obviously very disinterested in playing this character, considering she's in like a minute of the film as a whole. Now I think it's time to discuss the elephant in the room. Ezra Miller. Ezra was arrested in Hawaii recently, and this is just the latest of a series of troubling things we've seen from the actor, and it's revealed in this movie that he's Aberforth's son, but that doesn't really add anything to the story at all other than bringing Aberforth into a few scenes. I suppose it does make Albus's character grow a bit in the film and make him think about Ariana, and now he wants to right those wrongs by helping Creedence. Yeah, I can see that, so I guess him being a Dumbledore makes sense, but he was also dying at the end of the film, and if his recent actions are anything to go by, if there's a Fantastic Beasts 4, Creedence is probably just dead at the start of it. But he also doesn't need to be in it anymore. His character arc is complete by turning against Grindelwald and finding his true family, so him dying actually makes sense even if you take away the actor playing him, but hey, they could always recast him like they did with Grindelwald and just throw him into the plot like they did with Jacob. Also, quick note, shout out to all my Dark subscribers. This movie was at least semi more watchable because Ulrich was in it. It was weird to hear him talk in English, but at the end of the day, this is a pretty big movie, so I mean, I'm very happy for the actor here. The point I'm trying to make here is that this franchise feels all over the place. It doesn't feel like they even know the story they're trying to tell, if it's about Dumbledore or Newt or Grindelwald. It really just feels like they showed up to set with an outline and just threw something together that day and said, I guess we'll just write another scene to film tomorrow. If, and this is a big if, we get Fantastic Beasts 4, it's time to wrap things up. There's not enough story to spread out over 2 more films. There's barely enough for even 1 if they're doing it. Just give us the fight between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. We had a film about Newt, we had a film about Grindelwald, and now we have one about Dumbledore. Now bring all of those together in a Dumbledore versus Grindelwald film. It's truly the only thing left to do. We had our Harry Potter references in all 3 films. Now give us this fight and go back to the drawing board before making anything else in this world, because I hate making videos talking about how I didn't like a movie in my favorite franchise. Do we need Fantastic Beasts 4? Yes, for one reason, to see Dumbledore and Grindelwald fight. But if we don't ever get it, I won't be too upset. What are your thoughts on the Fantastic Beasts franchise so far? Did you like this movie and the previous 2? Let me know that down in the comments below, and subscribe for more Harry Potter content. If you do, then I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.